All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. In 2010, Madison Bumgarner burst onto the MLB scene and quickly showed that the moment was not too big for him. The 20-year-old Bumgarner helped the San Francisco Giants win the World Series that year, which included him shutting out the Texas Rangers over 8 innings in his one start during the Fall Classic. Bumgarner was a part of a Giants rotation that included Tim Lincecum and Matt Cain. And over the next 4 years, he would help San Francisco win two more World Series titles. The big 6'4" lefty had an imposing presence on the mound with his sloping curveball and moving fastball that made life tough for opposing hitters, both lefties and righties. From 2012 to 2016, Bumgarner won 80 games while also making four All Star game appearances as he was recognized as one of the best pitchers in baseball. And when age and injuries had caught up to both Kane and Lincecum, Bumgarner was now the guy to carry the Giants' rotation. But in April 2017, Bumgarner suffered rib injuries as well as an injury to his throwing shoulder during a dirt bike incident. And in my opinion, Bumgarner has not been the same pitcher since. Bumgarner, since that injury, has never finished a season with a winning record. He's only had one 200 strikeout season since then, and that was also the last time that he reached the 200 innings mark rather, which was in 2019. In 2020, Bumgarner left the Giants after agreeing to a 5-year, $85 million deal with the Arizona Diamondbacks. And his time in the desert has been less than what everyone was expecting it to be. In 69 starts with Arizona, Bumgarner is just 15-32 with an ERA of 5.23. So far this season, Bumgarner is 0-3 with a 10.26 ERA, which resulted in the Diamondbacks designating him, for assignment this past Thursday. Now, this is just a steep fall for a guy that, not that long ago was one of MLB's premier pitchers. And he was in the ranks with the guys like Adam Wainwright, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, and then Clayton Kershaw, of course, when Bumgarner was pitching for the Giants, of course, Kershaw being with the rival Los Angeles Dodgers. And you just think back to the start of Bumgarner's career. It was a Hall of Fame start, the way that he commanded the strike zone, especially, with his performance for the Giants in the 2014 World Series. You go back and you remember what Bumgarner was as a starter in that series, and then he just came out of that bullpen in Game 7 for Bruce Bochy against the Kansas City Royals and shut down that Royals lineup. And you just think about that guy, and he was on that fast track, and then he just fell off of a cliff. Unfortunately, no pun intended. After he had that accident. Now, Bumgarner is going to be 34 years of age in August. And of course, the question is going to be, will someone take a chance on him? I mean, the Diamondbacks, they're going to eat the majority of his contract. So if anybody picked him up, they get him on the cheap. Um, but at the end of the day, his stuff is not what it once was. And I like I said before, I really do feel that the accident had a hand in that. He does not have the velocity that he once did. He no longer has the command that he was had, and now he's just a shell of the pitcher, of course, that we saw for about 10 years ago, dominating things. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you look at the Diamondbacks. This was kind of a wake up call from the standpoint that, you know what, they just simply gotten off to a good start this year. And I guess that they felt that Bumgarner was holding them back. So I guess they felt that it was in their best interest for both parties to go their separate ways, which they have. And, the Diamondbacks feel like they have a legitimate shot to be a playoff contender this year. So we're going to wait and see how the season plays out in that. But nonetheless, this is a move that Arizona felt that they had to make. At the end of the day, I think somebody will take a shot on Madison Bumgarner. It's one of those scenarios where if you pick him up, you're going to get him on the cheap. And that's the thing about sports. That's the beauty about sports. There's always going to be chances to reinvent yourself, chances to prove yourself to somebody else. Why? Because there's going to be somebody out there that believes in you and believes that you can still get it done and you could still come in and contribute and give their team or help their team to have a chance to win. I'm not saying it's going to be a contender. It could be a team that, maybe at some point they just want to give him a look to see if he has something left in the tank, and maybe it opens the door for him to get a spring training invite next year. We got to wait and see. But nonetheless, at the end of the day, Bumgarner is just not the same pitcher that he once was. Like I said before, I feel that that accident definitely had a big hand in that. And let's just see what the next step is for Madison Bumgarner in his baseball career. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There is also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I'm signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.